Well, we'll take a look at this week's drought monitor to start off our grow weather forecast. Some unfortunate news on the drought monitor. As you can see, some worsening drought conditions across Nebraska and even northern Kansas. Now, one thing to note, this is based on conditions as of Tuesday of this week. It comes out every Thursday morning, but as of Tuesday, we are looking at around 32% of the state of Nebraska not included in a drought category, so 68% roughly of the state is included in that abnormally dry category. That compares to last week, 77% of the state was not included in a drought category. Conditions also getting worse in northern Kansas, but you can see where that drought is stretching down the abnormally dry conditions. That's shaded in that yellow, and it includes parts of northern Kansas as well. Let's talk about the changes in northern Kansas. For northern Kansas, 99% of the state was not included in a drought category last week. Now we're looking at 83% of the state not included in a drought category this week. So we'll look to see if any rain that moved through this week makes some changes for next week, but this is what we're looking at this week with a large area of Nebraska and parts of northern Kansas included in that abnormally dry category. Now looking at temperatures for 1 month out, the outlook for 1 month out, parts of Nebraska and Kansas looking at the potential for below normal temperatures during that time frame, and really anywhere shaded in that blue looking at that potential. Anything not shaded looking at equal chances, but above normal temperatures a possibility across parts of the west coast, stretching down into parts of the south, includes parts of Florida as well, and then a small part of the east coast as well. 3 months out, we're looking at equal chances for all of Nebraska and almost all of northern Kansas, but other parts of the U.S. looking at the potential for above normal temperatures, parts of the east coast down into the south, including Texas, and then up the west coast as well. Let's talk about precipitation for 1 month out. Anywhere not shaded looking at equal chances, anywhere in that green looking at the potential for above normal precipitation for 1 month out, and then that brown shading below normal precipitation is a possibility for 1 month out. 3 months out, all of Nebraska, all of Kansas looking at the potential for above normal precipitation. That stretches down into parts of the south and stretches up to the north as well, includes Colorado, as well as other parts to the north and to the west of the Nebraska and Kansas area. So let's take a look at our almanac for the next week. Our normal high this time of year around 87 degrees. Normal low around 63. When we average out our next week, we're looking at an average high around 90 degrees. So a few degrees above that. Our week ahead average low also a few degrees above average at around 66 degrees. And our proverb for this week, whatever July and August do not boil, September cannot fry. But that's a check of your grow weather forecast for this week. You sent us some pictures and now here they are.
Whether you've been cultivating, spraying, irrigating, working with cattle, going to the county fair, send us your photos. grow@nebraska.tv is our email. Now we head to the home of Nebraska's big rodeo, Garfield County, our county snapshots. Garfield County, county seat Burwell, of course. The Census of Agriculture shows 226 farms, 345,000 acres of farmland. The average farm has about 1,500 acres. The vast majority of land, of course, is pasture land in Garfield County. Agriculture there has a $65 million a year impact from crops and livestock sold. That ranks number 80 in Nebraska. Garfield County, number 12 in Nebraska for nurseries, greenhouses, and sod, and number 2 for aquaculture. You'll find horses, poultry, sheep, and goats too, but cattle is the big category with 44,000 head in a county of 2,000 people. In other words, cattle outnumber people 22-1. And don't forget about Nebraska's big rodeo held every year in Burwell, putting a lens on Nebraska agriculture. That's our county snapshots. Good cattle and even better kids will visit the Gelby Association Junior Nationals next.